Who isn't responding? Oh. Right, okay, so let's quickly set this up. So RM's Dewalt, very strong player of course, against Quantel. Check Discord. Now, okay, so we're going back to Sin Chopeng Liang. It's all good. This is going to be fun. Need Plasma. Plasma would be a good choice. I have had Plasma before. We only actually saw one game, and that was in the finals. And Scan actually won that series, I think. So that was a fun week. We do have spawning in the top left position the yellow Zerg Quantel on New Tornado. Then in the bottom left position we do have the Russian Mafia's Dewalt. Let's just quickly pop the positions in. So we are 10 o'clock versus 7 o'clock, set the colours. So it will be, of course, white versus yellow. So it's going to be very hard to keep up with this on the minimap. White versus yellow has to be some of the worst colour choices to actually have to deal with. Okay, so nothing crazy as of yet. Of course, this is going to be... I think this is actually our first semi-final for the Clash for Char number 9. Has been a very quick series so far. It looks like the base hasn't realised there's a 2-minute delay on the stream. But yeah, we will be casting this semi-final, so that's going to be fun, and we're of course going to be casting the final. I'm not going to let anyone tell me not to come in. We do see Dewalt is actually going to scout in the wrong direction. Not really sure. Actually goes back to double check. You can actually lose the game by doing what who was it? What Bonus did against True Touch in the Italian esports qualifier, I believe it was, where the wrong version of Python was hosted. Now we do see a Forge fast expand coming up, so nothing too crazy, no overly aggressive plays. No, I have seen Gateway expand be used on this map. This map is of course from 2010, so fairly classic map as such. It was used in the SPL, or yeah, the SPL, which is the Shin Handbag Pro League 2010, so that's pretty cool. And hopefully Debasa hasn't just ruined the game entirely, because if he has, I'll have to time him out in chat for the rest of the tournament. But yeah, of course, if you do want to watch the first-person view of the players, you can actually check their stream. We see the first cannons actually coming out. Quantel is trying to do his best to do a little bit of damage to it. He doesn't manage to get anything. Yeah, it should be pretty fun. Hopefully the overlay is all correct. I believe it should be. I've ironed out a lot of bugs in my overlay over the time that I have been doing these tournaments. It has been 9 weeks worth of tournaments, so pretty crazy. We've had some crazy donations from very, very generous people. I will give a massive thanks to all of them, or at least the people who donated this week as well, at the end of the stream, of course. If it wasn't for the donators, the players, and the people watching, this one wouldn't be able to happen. So, I'm actually not quite sure who Quantel is, but he has taken out some decent opponents to get here. It looks like we will see the third hatch, I believe. Yeah, so that's third hatch after pool. Extractor coming up at a fairly normal time. Nothing too crazy. Looks like we will have the gas coming up for Dewalt as he gets his gateway and his nexus. So, it's going to be a fairly standard, fairly normal opening really from both players. Nothing out of the ordinary. Apparently Quantel is Quantel. Supposedly both are watching the stream, which would be kind of funny because it's 2 minutes out of date, so they won't really be able to tell anything. I know Dewalt had problems last week thinking Shiny was cheating, so that's why I did put the delay on from the start. I do miss the audience interaction, but you know what, I can talk to you 2 minutes into the past, you know? It's all good. So it looks like Hongju is still asking who the yellow player is. That is Quantel. We do see the Cybernetic score coming up for Dewalt. And once again, we will go to a fairly normal part of the game. There's not going to be anything too crazy going on for the immediate time being. There is a pretty quiet phase in CVP a lot of the time, where both players will just be trying to power up. Now, what is Quantel's decision from here? Where does he take this build? Does he go for some kind of 3-hatch aggression? Or is he going to go 4, 5, 6 hatchery into a more macro-orientated style? Now, the interesting thing is, he did take this base as his third. Now, of course, there is a normal gas here. As a matter of fact, I think it may even be... Yeah, it's actually a half gas at this third base. So I say half, like a... Pretty much all fine. It's okay to take this base. Now, usually, if... to use a name that a lot of people do not like anymore. In the classic style of CVP, which was popularized by Savior, you would see players opting to take another natural as their third base, so they get easy access to this other main. But other than that, it looks like he's going for more aggressive version where you do expand towards your opponent. Now, the important thing to note, if I zoom out, this is actually probably the easiest base that Dewalt can actually attack. He can go through this path, up this ramp, and there we go, you do see him in the base. So whether Dewalt abuses this or not, I'm not too sure. We will find out. We see the robotics facility come up. One thing to note, if you haven't seen many of Dewalt's games, he does like, he loves Corsair Reaver. We do see the +1 coming up for the Corsairs as well. So this could be a very, very interesting game. The first Corsair is moving out across the map, going to do what it can to try and snipe some Overlords. Although first of all, before that, he's actually going to scout. Now that's actually going to be a big mistake actually. He does manage to see what's going on. This is going to be the important part. He's going to see any tech that's going on. He sees the Hydrus and he's of course seen the Hydrus already. So it's not going to be too much of a big deal. He needs to check the drone count. I think this is why he went for that elite Russian hacker. I think that's why he went for the scout there, just to make sure if he doesn't check the drone count, he can actually have a few problems. The first Overlord does go down, which actually supply blocks Quantel here. Now, interestingly, we do actually see lurkers morphing in the middle of the map, out of vision of the Corsairs. Now, is Dewalt going to be prepared for this? I don't know. Like, 3 Corsairs are now out. He's supply block Quantel again, but without a proper scout. He did see the Lings leaving the base, so he should know there's something coming. How many cannons does he has listened to Sail. He's got 4 cannons. Is this going to be enough? Lurkers can bust down the front. Now this is a very technical all-in. The Lurkers need to try and take down the cannons. The cannons need to focus the Lurkers, because as soon as these cannons go down, there is going to be no detection whatsoever. 2 of the Lurkers have actually gone down, so good move by him. But he's going to lose his other 2 cannons. The probes have actually been pulled to try and take down the lurkers. Probes are going to get the first lurker. Are they going to get... They turn around too quickly. They get both of them. No real damage dealt by Quantel there, who has now unsupply blocked himself. The Corsairs still flying around doing what they can. Another group of Lings are moving in, but look at this. Dewalt, just being super safe, is actually trying to make another wall. But Lings are going to get straight through. Can they cancel the cannons? He's actually going to get into the main. Now, he does see the Reaver. What is this Reaver going to be able to do? 1 Ling attacking the probes, 1 Ling dying to a Zealot, losing track of that. Of course, he does have another load of Lings. Now, the important question in this game is how much damage is this Reaver going to do? It looks like we just have some random Hydralisks and Lings still trying to go in. Let's keep an eye on this Reaver. A nice Scarab does go down, killing 2 drones. Another one killing 3. Target fire though. Target fire from the Hydras nearly actually takes down the Reaver. The shuttle not taking any hull damage just quite yet. But we do see Lings actually in the natural. They're going to take down the natural Nexus. Dewalt unable to get any defense back up. We only see 1 Zealot at the top of the ramp against all of these Lings. Now this Reaver is going to really help. A huge Scarab does go off. But there is yet more lurkers at his front. Now, he is going to save his robotics, it does appear so. This Reaver on 14 kills. Wow, actually those Scarabs went really far. We actually see him trying to get up another cannon. Is it going to be enough though? Quantel is continually streaming units over. Now, unfortunately for him, the splash from the Reavers actually kills this. It's going to be very hard for these Lynx to get in and do anything. This Reaver is on very low health though, does get the gets the pickup just before it dies. Now, is he going to try and attack his own buildings to try and kill these? I don't think he will. We see some cannons, I think that's actually blocking... No, it's not blocking the Nexus, it's just off. Now, how is Dewalt going to come back from here? More units streaming out of the bases. It looks like Quantel's actually added a few more drones, but not too many. No hive tech as of yet, no fourth base. The Reaver's very low on health, need to be very careful. This is going to be very difficult micro. One of the Reavers gets picked up, one shot from death again. Great Reaver micro here from Quantel. From Dewalt even. Man, this yellow and white is really confusing me. And we see yet more Reaver Scarabs going down. 23 kills on this Reaver, 16 on this Reaver. Dewalt, of course, is actually ahead in supply, but is behind considerably on bases and workers. Although seeing that, he does have a lot of workers back here. This is about 24 workers at least. I think that should be enough for him to be able to do it. Now, is Quantel actually going to go for a drop here? He's pulled all of his units back. He knows he cannot continue this all in. And it looks like, wow, a Corsair actually goes in and takes out the Overlord. Where is the shuttle gone? Did I miss the shuttle dying? I can't see it anywhere. No, I don't. Here it is. It drops the Reaver. How many kills is it going to get? Another 3 kills on the Reaver. He needs to be careful though. The Hydras could actually take this down. Oh my god, another 4 drones do go down, but the... Oh man, actually, the Reaver is still alive. Finally, does go down, but 24 kills before that Reaver was dying is a very, very good tally for him. The shuttle will get away as well. So he will be able to come back another day. There are another 2 Reavers, one on full health, one actually on full Scarabs. It looks like the Scarab isn't quite done yet for this second Reaver, but it will replenish them while it's in the shuttle. This is very normal. We see some Corsairs still trying to do damage. These 2 very heavily damaged though. This one actually on 1 health. My god, that is one lucky Corsair pilot. Look at that, 1 health, 1 shield, does get away. And the shuttle is actually going to move out and try and do some damage again. Dewalt now adding up to his 4th gateway, no 3rd gateway even. He did lose the gateways at the front. But this Reaver, how many kills are they going to be able to get? This is a fresh Reaver, of course. It gets a nice Scarab to start with, clearing so many drones already. 6 drone kills. Oh my god, he needs to be careful though. He can't lose the shuttle to the Hydralisks. Actually, he could have even gone further to the north, but here we go. Another Scarab does go down, killing only 1 Hydralisk there. Quite lucky for our Zerg player. He cannot drop here. He needs to be careful. There are now Scourge out on the map as well. And we now do see the Spy units coming into play. The shuttle will get away. The Corsair's such low health. Gonna fall back. There's no cannons in the main. He does have a few Dragoons. But does he even have enough anti-air to deal with these 10 Mulisks? I'm not sure he does. He can spam Dragoons until the cows come home. He cannot build another Corsair. There is Scourge actually trying to camp that. Of course, depending on where you rally, depends on where it's coming out. Actually, looks like the Dragoons tried to take out the Scourge there. Will allow him to get this Corsair, but no! The Corsair does go down. No cannons in the main, and I think Dewalt, being so far behind earlier, did get a lot of drone kills, but it did delay everything so much, being only on 1 base. I don't think Dewalt is going to have enough. These Reavers are not going to do anything. They're going to have to fall back to the cannons. We do see a shield battery at the front as well. The shuttle does go down. Another Reaver goes down. And these Mulisks kill everything important to Dewalt at this point in the game. The drones have slowly been remade. The Mulisks still doing more damage. Even more Mulisks on the way. And I think this may be the death knell for poor Dewalt, who is trying his best to come back. He's spamming Dragoons. He's just doing anything he can to try and hold on. Is it going to be enough though? There's no upgrades on... there's actually +1 for the Dragoons, so this may help, but there's just so many Mulisks. Although somehow the Dragoons are holding. The Mulisks are sent back, and this is going to be the main story now. There's so many Hydra Sounds at the front. There's only actually 2 cannons at the front. A shield barrier actually being used to keep that cell alive a little bit longer, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Hydralisks against Pure Dragoon are fine. There is a Reaver though. Is this Reaver going to be able to save him? The Mutalisks are in the main. They're going to try and take down all of the probes, all of the Corsairs once again, and many more of the Dragoons, but is it going to be enough to hold? We do actually see an Observer in play now, finally. And here we go, the Reaver actually getting a lot of kills on this advancing Zerg army. But the Mutalisks have just done so much damage. Quantel ahead in supply of the Protoss player, which is not a good position to be in. Looks like the Hydra is still trying to push in, but this Reaver is getting all the kills right now. Not worried. Now the problem Quantel is going to eventually run into, he doesn't have a fourth base. And as I say that, he sends his drone. It's almost like he's watching the 2-minute delayed stream from the future to see what's going on. And Dewalt is in an awful position. He lost his Shotley, lost his Reavers countless times, is forced to go into Pure Dragoon pretty much to defend against the Mutalisks. Looks like the Mutalisks are going to try and come in. Oh no, he's actually shooting his own Dragoon! Nearly kills his own Dragoon there, bit of miss micro. That's one thing that can happen when you're trying to be super careful with the target firing. Now one thing I hope I'm doing is I'm not boxing too much. Wow, we see an observer actually being taken down there as well, so Quantel doing a really good job getting his third base. Getting the high ground outside of Dewalt's main, so Dewalt is not going to be able to expand. Dewalt actually forced to add more pylons in his natural, because it's the only place he can actually build cannons to defend against this oncoming Mutalisk onslaught. How many Mutalisks are there now? There's 11 Mutalisks, some are very badly bruised. The Scourge are coming in as well. How many probe kills can he get? Looks like he's trying to go for the probes. Of course there are cannons here, but this is going to be a very intricate dance for Dewalt to have to pull off. He is only 5 supply behind, but he is very close to mining out of his main. His natural, of course, will still be mining. Some really nice Corsair shots going down on the Mutalisks, so they're so stacked up. And it looks like Dewalt manages to repel them once again. Now, weirdly, it looks like Quantel actually lost a lot of his drones over at his third base from where the Reaver was doing his business earlier. And we see the Dragoons are actually going to go on the offensive now. There are 2 Reavers. That's going to be enough to kill all of these all of these Hydralisks even. Could Dewalt pull the impossible? Could he pull a comeback from an almost unwinnable situation? We are about to find out. The Mutalisks actually suiciding on all of the Dragoons. Oh no! Quantel is throwing away his lead. Unfortunately, he is got his fourth, or he does have his fourth base. Dragoons are going down to the Hydralisk forces. There's no upgrades. Only +1 for the Protoss, but no! The Reavers were not getting the shots they needed, not getting the connections, and these Hydralisks, this 1 Muta and the 3 Scourge, actually managed to push back all of the Dragoons for the time being. Okay, but this is something else. There's another huge Hydralisk force. The Reavers have all gone down. There's no Reaver back at home. Only Dragoons are what stands between Quantel and the Natural Nexus. Is he going to be able to take out, in the first game, this 2900 MMR Protoss with this attack? The Dragoons are so badly damaged, so many of them badly bruised. The Hydralisk just pushing straight in. It looks like the shield barrier is actually nearly out of energy. Such good target firing coming from Quantel here. He's doing so much damage. And more units are streaming in from the top side. Is he going to be able to take down this Natural Nexus? If he does, I don't think Dewalt has any choice but to tap out of this game number 1. Looks like he wants to hold on. It is the semi-finals of the Clash for Char number 9. It is, of course, a best of 3. It's not a best of 1. So this isn't all or nothing, but maybe Dewalt wants to just wear down his opponent. Looks like we do see the 5th base actually coming up now for Quantel. Now Dewalt is going to go for this one last ditch move out. He's actually trying to secure this bottom right base. Is he going to be able to do it? His main is very close to mined out. Actually, there's more minerals here than I thought there was. He did lose a lot of probes to Mutalisks, of course, so actually distance mining from his natural. I don't think Quantel realizes just how far ahead he is. We actually see one attack coming. We do see a Queen's Nest, so we will see Hive very shortly. And we do see double Evo chambers now, so it looks like Quantel is looking to take this to the late game. He has an incredible advantage. Is he going to go and kill him though? It looks like he's being a little bit apprehensive. We see a large force moving in against the Reaver though, or the Reaver and the Dragoons. It looks like the Reaver didn't get a shot off. Gets a shot off there. Has to pick up. Only kills two Hydras at the moment. These Hydras are just doing so much damage. There was such a huge Scarab. The Reaver does go down though, and the Observer goes down as well. And it looks like we've got some lag. Quantel, oh no, Quantel's actually dropped. Oh my god, no he hasn't. We're back. We're back. No. Okay, this is an insurmountable position for Dewalt right now as Quantel comes barreling down on this newly built third base. He's actually going to have to attack into the high ground. Not too many Hydras are here. He will take down the cannon though. And here comes the surround. Some Lings coming in behind. Lings and Hydras against nothing but purely Dragoons who only have +1 attack. We do see 1-1 now finished for the Dragoons, for the Hydralisks even. And it looks like with a drill, somehow, Dewalt may be able to hang on, although no, there's no units left to defend. Wow, actually holds on with 1 Dragoon on 9 health. But is that going to be enough? Quantel on 5 base now, another load of speedlings. Speeding, zooming across the map, and GG is called in the first game. You know what, I worry that I sound too much like Total Biscuit when I do that. Okay, so next map is Sinchapung I believe. Let's just update the scores. Very well played by Quantel there, taking out an incredibly strong player. Let's actually just bring up the overlay just to show what the next map is. It is going to be Sinchapung, so actually just looking at the chat. Oops, doing the wrong thing. I need to be joining the game. Okay, so we're actually just waiting for Quantel to come into the game. So I'm just going to take a drink. There we go. Looks like we will be going into the first game. Oh my god. We see an old word we shouldn't be saying. The map is weird, XD. Okay, it looks like we are going to get going into this second game. Now, this is officially the second game of the entire tournament. Now let's switch back to the game screen just as this starts, because this will be cool as hell. So, am I lagging this out by not being in the thing? I think I am. There we go. We do have, spawning in the bottom left position, the green Zerg taking a game off of the 2900, I believe, MMR Protoss, who will be spawning in the top right position, RM Dewalt. So Quantel showing an incredibly good game. Looks like we do see extra high. They're going to try out high latency as well. Not a bad choice. So we do actually see Quantel this time is in the 7 o'clock position. Dewalt is in the 2 o'clock position. We will have RM Dewalt is of course blue, and we have Quantel as the green Zerg. Okay, so it looks like there was a bit of a discussion on what they should actually use. Now, interestingly, Dewalt is going for an in-base pylon. This is one thing that is very different compared to every other game, and apparently someone is saying it's unplayable on high. So, or Dewalt's saying it's unplayable on high. That's fair enough. Of course, the problem is with a foreign tournament, there are people all over the world who do play with each other, and that is going to be a problem with lag. So we actually see a 9 pool coming up from Quantel. 9 pool with speed, guys. 9 pool with speed. That is really cool. Another drink, guys. Casting is really hard on your throat. Extra TR12 is fine. That's cool. We're both happy. Everyone's happy. We see a probe is going to scout relatively early. Actually, a gateway scouting. So we're going to have 9 pool against in-base gateway expand. This could be a very, very interesting match. Yeah, we see the spawning pool is now just finishing up. Once again, thank you for anyone who's following me. There is no follower notifications at the moment. I've turned them off for the tournament. You can hear the noise though. I don't know if you can hear it, if I can hear it, but yeah, it's a noise in the background. Yeah, I do stream ladder and stuff as well. I was streaming a lot of practice games yesterday until like 3 AM, so that was kind of crazy. Morning was very interesting. We actually see second pylon in base as well. Now this Overlord is actually going to see this gateway and the Zealot moving out. But Quantel, knowing the fact he's gone for 9 pool, is going to feel a little bit better about this than maybe he would have done otherwise. Actually turn on the vision of Dewalt again. The probe actually gets caught, so Dewalt messing up his multitask a little bit. Does lose his first probe, even getting the Forge in base as well, so it looks like he is going to go for a super safe expansion. We do see the probe looking to maybe move down and build a Nexus, but no, the probe actually going past. Is he going to do some kind of proxy? You can see Proxy Reaver in DBZ, but it's not as common, of course. The Lings are moving across the map, but they should be met by these 2 Zealots. Now, is Dewalt going to build a cannon at the top of his ramp? He's going to need to. There's actually, this is not so much an all-in, but there's no second base. So actually there is hidden second base. So Quantel, just playing this very, very funkily, wants to not die to the counter pressure from the Zealots. What is Dewalt doing with this probe? What are we going to see this little guy do? Is this the guy from Hearts? Is he Probius? Or is he just scouting around? Looks like he's going to proxy something, but you know what? I'm not sure what. Maybe he is just going for the scout. Now, the clever thing that Quantel's done is if we look at Dewalt's vision, he's going to move down here and see no second base. Is Dewalt actually going to move over and check this base in the corner? I'm not too sure. So right now, when you're looking at this game as Dewalt, all you see is one base layer. Now, this layer is actually quite late for one base, so he must have an inkling that there's something going on, but these Lings are going to stop him scouting this bottom right location, and Dewalt is going to be completely on the back foot here with information. He doesn't know what's going on. An Overlord is in the base, will see the Stargate, of course prompting it to try and slowly, I would say run away, but I'm not really sure this counts as running with how slow it's moving. Only 8 Lings are actually out on the map, and Dewalt is just super turtling back. Actually adding a second cannon, he does not know what's coming for him. He's possibly thinking that there's going to be some kind of all-in, but there isn't. The Lings were a fake. This expansion, he's droning up over here, and he's actually going to go for his third hatchery as well. We saw his camera go down here. So here's the drone, going straight into a third hatchery in normal play. The Dewalt has been completely thrown off here by the weird location of that second base. Yeah, third cannon as well. Oh, this is actually a pylon. Sorry, I stopped for a second just to try and check chat, see what was going on. Looks like people were wondering if they're going to go proxy, but we do see the Citadel. This is going to be a one base play, actually adding a third cannon. He is so certain. Oh wow, is his Corsair going to see the third, or is he going to see the second base? He's going to be able to get this Overlord. There's going to be nothing to defend. Now, what is Quantel doing from here? He does have a couple of Hydralisks. But is this going to be to defend against the Corsairs, or are we going to see some 3-hatch pressure? What is this Corsair going to see? It's going to see the Hydralisk then. Now, Quantel actually went for Lurkers. You're actually going to see the second base. Is he going to check this bottom right location, though? This is so important. This is such an important moment for Dewalt, as he is going to be completely debated. And there we go. We actually see him check this third base. He's going to see that there's drones here as well, so he is going to feel like a right fool, given the fact he has 3 cannons in his main, and he's got nothing. He has no way of expanding right now. He's barely got any units. 3 cannons is the latest tech. The Templar Archives is coming up. Robo as well on 1 base, so it looks like Dewalt is actually just going to go for a 1 base push here. I don't think he's going to try and expand. The Corsairs are going to do what they can, try and take out as many Overlords as they can, and see if they can actually supply block Quantel, which it looks like it will happen again. With 2 Corsairs, they will take this down fairly quickly, and we do finally see Dewalt moving out of his base. Now, at least one thing you'd be sure of, there's going to be no backstabs, at least from Lings. Actually, we'll look out to look to expand, so not going for 1 base all in. Looks like it will. It's not going to normalize, of course, because Dewalt is playing from a very, very odd position. Apparently, the brackets are a bit screwed up, and Lancerax did beat the NMAX, but the brackets say otherwise, so I'll fix that after the tournament, that's fine. We see the Corsairs still moving around. There's actually only 4... Wait. Oh no. Lag. Are we okay? We're okay, we're okay. We get to stay in the second game. Yeah, we do see the Evo Chamber creating that wall, just going to stop any further Zealot pressure, even walling off over here with the Evolution Chamber. This, I believe, is actually Zealot tight. So nothing going to be able to get through here. Actually building a Spore to defend against any DTs. Will it finish in time to actually save the Overlord? It looks like it will. I know the Overlord will go down. Corsairs are pretty good. No! He actually moves back. He does take a lot of damage on the first Corsair, so he does need to be incredibly careful. And, I mean, once again, Dewalt just adding cannons. He is going... Oh, he did have Ser DT ready. Now, does he actually have a DT out on the map? Yes, he does. But he's going to actually have to fall back. He was just... I think he was A-moving it over here, and then when he realized what was building, he had to pull back. The Corsairs still doing what they can. It looks like the building positioning for Dewalt is going to hurt him a little bit later. He's going to find it hard to fit any extra gateways in. It's very possible that he's not played this map that much, which is fair enough. It is from 2008. It never really took off as a foreign scene map. This map was actually pretty good for Zerg, so... Oh, we see the DT though. How much damage is he going to be able to do? He's actually snuck into the natural. There is 5 Overlords here though, so he's going to have to fall back. Now, can this DT realistically do any damage? I don't think it can. This really low health Overlord is actually going to save this base along with this Spore. I believe you could actually sit here with the DT and do some damage, but I don't think it's going to really be able to do too much. The Corsairs have found the Ling in the middle of the map, it looks like. So they're not going to be able to do too much, but of course he does know where the Corsair is. Now, is Dewalt going to expand, or is he just scouting? I would imagine this would be to expand. Now, interestingly, he's taking this middle base. Now, as we saw in Ultra versus Balbo, Ultra is, of course, a Terran player, but to take this base, you need to hold this area and this area. Now, it does look like he's going to move up to the high ground. He does look like his Reavers are finished now as well, or is this for High Templar? Does he actually have a support base? No, he doesn't, so this will be Templar in this shuttle. How much damage can he realistically do with them? Looks like Quantel, though, not being phased by the fact that could be Templar out on the map, is actually going to move straight up to the natural expansion. Actually stopping for a little bit. He needs to be careful not to clump up too much. If he clumps up, he's going to lose a lot to Storm. There is 2 Storms available. One does go down, doing a lot of damage to the first clump of Hydralisks. And it looks like Quantel is actually going to have to turn back. Does he know about this possible third base location? It doesn't look like he's scouted there just yet. The DTs have done damage. It looks like he actually dropped the High Templar out of the shuttle just to see how much energy he had. He doesn't want to fly in when you've done a storm. No, it's not High Templars, it's actually a DT. There's no Overlord in the main. The Overlords do not have speed yet. This DT is going to be doing so much damage. It looks like Quantel does notice it fairly quickly, so he doesn't lose too many drones. But it looks like Dewalt's actually not looking at his DT too much. Now he is. He's going to fall back down here. But these... oh, he does have speed for the Overlord now, so these should be able to do a decent amount of damage. Quantel is doing a really good job this game once again. Looks like Dewalt is going to try and take this base finally. Is going to give him his third base. He has been playing on the back foot from the very start of the game. And to show you why, if you've only just tuned in, you can see these 3 cannons. He thought he was being one base all in, and of course he wasn't. But really well played by Quantel, throwing off his opponent using the mind games. And this is going to be scary for Dewalt. If Dewalt moves down here, he's actually going to trap his army, which is very small. He can maybe move across there. Does cancel the 4th base, which is good. But he can't really do too much damage. Looks like the shuttle is going to be moving out again. What is he going to drop this time? Is it going to be a storm drop? Not too sure. We don't see a robotic support bay yet, so there will not be any shuttle speed. Let's keep an eye on the shuttle just to make sure we don't miss anything awesome happening. We see the Hydras moving down, some aggression going down over here. Oh, we actually see a Zealot drop. So he is actually going to Zealot drop, looks like in both bases. Maybe to force away the drones, but not being phased by this. He's doing a really good job. Storm does go down, only actually killing 2 drones though, so not the best Storm drop. The Hydras do clean up the Zealots in the main. And oh my god, the shuttle may go down. He needs to get the shuttle out. He doesn't have speed. It's so slow. He's stopping the shuttle. No, he's lost control of the shuttle. Maybe he thinks it's dead already. And there we go. Picked off by Quantel. And yeah, I mean, Quantel is just showing he's such a good player in this series. Completely outplaying Dewalt, who is figuratively... I mean, Dewalt was one of the highest seeded players in the tournament, to give you an idea of just how good Dewalt has been recently. He's done really well in all the Clash of Chars he's played in, did well in the European Italian Esports Open qualifiers, and has done really well in the ESL tournaments as well. So he's certainly not a player to be scoffed at. It looks like we do see the 4th base finally is coming up. So drones actually transferring all the way over there. Funnily enough, they don't actually transfer this way because of the weird pathing. But yeah, I mean, Quantel has the position on the middle of the map. He's very close in supply to Dewalt, who is now trying to transfer his probes straight into the army of Quantel. There's only 4 probes there. I can't count really basic maths, but there we go. Such a huge army from Quantel. Now, he may find himself trapped, but there's just not many units. A huge storm, taking out quite a few Hydras and bruising a hell of a lot more. But I think Quantel may be able to take out this 3rd base. There's no defense. Another storm does go down. Hydras actually running through the storms. Amazing storms there, killing the entire army. Well, actually, no, there's more Hydras here than I thought. Another storm does go down. But Dewalt losing a lot of his probes. Dewalt's actually trying to take this base up here as well, but he's going to lose his 3rd base and find himself behind once again. Dewalt is in such an awful position this game. I know it's not nice for casters to call out the situation, but Quantel is nearly at even supply with the Protoss player. Dewalt, who was behind from the very beginning of the game, is only on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gateways, which will allow him to make a sizable force. He does, of course, have these 5 High Templar, actually, but they're going to run straight into some lurkers. There are some observers here. A whiffed storm, a good storm for the second one. But slowly but surely, Quantel is actually going to try and take this high ground. Is he going to be able to secure it? If he does, it's going to be a very awful position for Dewalt. He's not going to be able to expand again. And it looks like the 3 lurkers are actually going to be able to take out the Archon before it can do anything. There is, of course, observers here, but there's not enough. There's just so many units from Quantel pouring down the map. Is Dewalt going to be able to hold? Is he going to be able to take this top left base? I'm not sure. He has no Templar left. Oh, he actually has one there as it dies. Bit of an unfortunate situation. Wow, does save it. Good move by him. He's lost his observers though. And this is going to be very bad. We see a little bit of... Wait, this isn't lag. I thought it was lag, but he's just completely stopped moving all of his units. That's really odd. We see some Lings actually coming in. A DT is going to go around, try and do some damage here. Actually, 2 creep colonies already coming up on this base. And we see the Lurker Contain has now been activated. An Observer is sniped. Really good move by Quantel. And I believe Quantel may have just, with this game, actually got himself into his first Clash for Char finals. I believe this is actually the first Clash for Char he's played in. He's gone through some incredible opponents to get here. And Dewalt is trying to hold on with everything he can. If he does lose this game, he is out of the tournament. He will, of course, get the 3rd to 4th place prize, which will be 20%, no, 10% even. Wait, it's 50, 30, 10, 10, yeah. He will make 10% of the win, like the final prize funds. If you do want to donate to the tournament, you can. I do apologize, I did miss a DT, but I don't think it did too much. It looks like we do see some probes transferring the right way, so he will take this 3rd base. Dewalt is down, but he is not out. Dewalt is, of course, really far behind. The Dragoons I don't actually think have range yet, so they can't do anything about the Lurkers. I can't tell if they've got range, though. Maybe that was just a bit of mismicro. They get pulled in. We see some Hydras, though, going in. There's 6 Dragoons are going to come and try and defend this. Hydra's on the ramp to try and delay this as long as possible. Oh, he even Lurker blocks the Dragoons. He will clean this up though. They're fairly good for him. Looks like the Lurkers are going to move forward. There's not a single observer here, but there is a lot of cannons. All of Dewalt's units are actually quite badly clumped up. 2 of the Lurkers do go down. 3 of the Lurkers, 4 of the Lurkers, 5 Lurkers go down. Very, very powerful Zealots there. All of Quantel's units have now been quashed. Although there is more Hydras coming in to reinforce another big storm. Dewalt may be pulling his way back into this game.
I like your style, friend.
And apparently my subscriber alerts aren't turned off. Thank you for the sub, Josh. Really appreciated. Looks like Dewalt is trying to move out on the map. He's trying to be aggressive. We do now see 4 bases for the Zerg, 3 for the Protoss, but we do see the Hive coming up. The Queen's Nest, the Hive actually just finishes as I check it.
I like your style,
Thank
friend.
you for subscribing, Dave, as well. They are 2 of the people I know in real life, so thank you very much. Always appreciated to have some friends who help you out. Looks like Dewalt is going to still be aggressive somehow. I don't know how he has the units to do this. A Templar that actually got lost is going to scout the counterattack, but the counterattack does fall back. How is Dewalt going to react to this? He looks like he's pulling all of his units from everywhere. I know I called the game a little bit early before, but we will have a longer game still. 18 minutes into the game, Dewalt playing from behind the whole time, finally finds himself with a supply lead. But does he have enough to deal with this army? I'm not sure. A big storm goes down. It looks like I pressed the wrong button again. It's all good. Once again, Dewalt's army forced back up the ramp. Now this will give him the high ground advantage. Another big storm goes down on the Hydralisks. And it looks like Quantel once again just doesn't have quite enough to break through. Dewalt, every engagement so far is surviving with very, very small amounts of units, and somehow is actually taking the aggression to Quantel now. Dewalt really playing well this game, showing why he's at the MMR he is on ladder. We see Quantel actually going for a counterattack to this third base. Is it going to be enough? Dewalt is going to try and take this base. What is going in Dewalt's base? Not too much. Let's keep an eye on this counter. As Storm does go down, the Hydra's actually running into it. And this poor Lurker is going to die to the 4 Hydralisks, and that counterattack does, or 4 cannons even, and that counterattack does absolutely nothing. But one problem Dewalt may have is he now does have a primarily Dragoon army. There is a few Storms here on the Templar, so that's going to allow him to deal with this Dark Swarm. But is he going to be able to deal with the Plague? It looks like there's been no Plague yet on the Corsairs. And Dewalt now has the army advantage. He has supply blocked Quantel. And apparently a Zealot actually run up there trying to kill something. We do see some consumes going down. Only one Sunken Colony actually trying to defend this base. So this base may actually fall. And unlike last time, Dewalt actually has a fairly sizable army. The Swarm does go down. But of course Dragoons under Swarm do not take damage from the Hydras either. What are the upgrades actually? 2 attack for the Protoss army, 2 armor. Does he have 2 attack yet? I can't tell until they bury. Yeah, 2-2 for the Zerg forces. And Dewalt's army is getting cleaned up, but he is ahead considerably in supply. Another great Storm going down, killing most of the Lurkers. It's Charity, I'm a tax write-off. Apparently everything's just caught up. The 3rd base, or the 4th base even, for Quantel does go down, but Dewalt's forces are once again being completely ravaged, stuck in this base, unable to leave. Another Storm does go down, and this will actually allow him to get out of this base, taking out this extra Sunken that was trying to morph. This is such a powerful small army from the Protoss player. I cannot believe just how much work it's doing, and he's going to find all of these Overlords. Quantel, I think somehow, while playing as well as he has let Dewalt back in this game. He's not had enough units to close it out for a long time, but now we do see the cows are out, the Ultralisks. They're going to surround the final units. There's not too much Storm left. There's actually no Storm left down here. And I mean, these are in fact 2-1 Ultralisks, so they're not fully upgraded as of yet. No Ultra upgrades. They have just popped, of course. And we do see a second Ultralisk cavern. Oh man, we do see Dewalt's army trying to push through. Just look how much damage these Ultras can tank. But it's just not enough. There's so many units from Dewalt. It's insane how he's managed to come back in this game. He was so far behind. And you know what? Quantel, showing that he was a 2v2 player, I think, just throwing away so many units throughout the entire game. I believe it's actually going to fall here. And Dewalt is going to manage to tie this up 1-1 in this semi-final. Such an exciting game. Quantel now down to 40 supply, probably trying to process exactly what's been going on. Ling's coming in from the top side, trying to take out these 3 attack Dragoons. They do have Adrenaline, so they're going to do a lot of damage. It looks like he has somehow cleaned up all the units, but he's lost most of his runs. 37 kills on that Archon, killing another Ultralisk. Oh my god, it kills another 2 Ultralisks. 40 kills. This Archon is a Protoss hero. He did save Aya all on his own. Another attack does go in, but cannon defense and a Storm will force GG from Quantel as he taps out of this second game in this series. Okay, I just need to update the overlay just quickly. So that was a win for Dewalt, pretty crazy for him. Let's join the game again. Okay, so he says I can. He'll give me a moment, so I am just gonna throw up the overlay for the maps a second, and then what we can do from there is I need to quickly pop to the bathroom. So here we go. Okay guys, we are back. Oh, well, I am back, even. I say we, but just me today. And this should be quite cool. Apparently Lancer waited for the NMAX for 30 minutes, that's a bit unfortunate. Hopefully that's not screwed up the bracket. I do believe that Lancer X did put himself through. Wait, what? Okay, well I can't actually fix that. Yeah, looks like we're all sorted. Okay, we're gonna host AA1. We are going back to Fantasy AA1. Just make sure I do that. We are on turn rate 12, of course. Archons are pretty good units, guys. Like, I don't know if you guys know, but Archons are pretty awesome. Now, I am looking forward to sort of going through my VOD later and see exactly what was going on in chat at the time. Because, of course, wait, I'm not playing. We just need to get the players in. Let's just bring up the map on... Well, I don't need to because it's actually on the screen. Of course, you are looking at my overlay. Fantasy 2 is the map we saw just before with the 4 distinct spawn locations. Quantel just didn't have enough drones in that game, unfortunately. And that did lead to his ultimate demise. But really, really well played game by both players. Dewalt coming back from an almost unwinnable situation. So far behind from the very beginning of the game. Let's see... Let's go back out. Apparently I cannot host, or I cannot find him. Looks like he's in another game. Where are they? Looks like I'm actually chat bugged again.
I like your style, friend.
Thank you very much for the sub, Burn Toast. Really appreciated. Okay, hopefully they'll just figure out what the password is. A11. Damn this chat bug. Is Dewalt in Discord? Nope, neither player are in Discord, annoyingly enough. I may actually start forcing people to sign up to it. Is Dazen in the Discord? Let's just see if we can find Fujikata. I know he's on my... Oh, there we go. Thank you for the follow. I'm trying to get them in the game, because I don't want to... Aha! Thank you! I believe Dazen must have just told them. Someone certainly told them because they both appeared at the same time. It's so hard to run a tournament when you're constantly being chat bugged. Yeah, looks like they're finding out the wonders of Fantasy 2. Now this, funnily enough, this map was actually pretty well balanced. In the OSL it was in, and I believe it was actually in Pro League for a bit. Okay, so Dewalt is ready. Looks like the NMAX should be ready as well. Not the NMAX. Why have I got him on my name? Yeah, I'm going to switch the overlay in just a second. Right, okay, they're both ready. We are going to go into the game. I am going to throw up the game overlay now so we can go and see the end of the countdown and the start of the next game. We are going on to Fantasy 2. And there we go, we do have in the left hand position, the 9 o'clock position, we do have RM's Dewalt, the blue Protoss. And in the top, kind of like the top middle, it's more like the 11 o'clock position. These are very weird starting locations for this matchup, by the way, which I may go into in just a second. We do have the brown Zerg, who is now tied up in this series, 1-1. Let's just quickly make sure I put all the positions into my overlay and the colours, and then we should be fine. So it is versus brown. People are calling for switch overlay. I was just doing it at the last second. It's all good. I know what I'm doing. Now we see Dewalt sending out a very, very early probe. Is he going to try and... you can't actually wall here. This is one important thing to note. You may be able to wall this, actually. It's quite a wide wall. No, actually, this is perfectly normal. Gateway, forge, cannons. You know, that's fine. Now he's actually going to scout where Quantel is straight away. Now Quantel actually used the gas trick to get an extra drone quicker. Now what is this going to mean? Well, he's actually going to go for a 10 pull. So delaying his pull ever so slightly, but it will, of course, allow Dewalt to get in and scout this. Now, I guess this is a more economical 9 pull, because you do have the extra drone. Wow, he's actually he's gas tricked twice. So, gas tricking twice to get some extra drones, going super economy focused. We do see the forge is going up now for Dewalt. Now, is he going to build the Nexus without seeing anything? He has seen the pull. Now, is he going to overmake cannons, or is he going to be fine? Now, the important thing to note, by walling this off, you actually secure your third base as well. So Dewalt could go for a very, very quick third base on this map. So people are saying they want a TVP on Katrina, but unfortunately for you guys, there are 2 Zergs in the other final, or in the other semi-final, but of course one is Drone, and Drone is a showman, and he plays random, and he picks races for events, so he could, in fact, we would more likely see PvZ or ZVP rather than PvP or ZVZ. He does tend to avoid the mirror matchups. Just to show an entertaining game, like, Drone is really good for that. We do see the firstlings are out, the hatchery is going up. I'm not sure if Dewalt has actually scouted this with his probe, but his wall is coming up. Now, knowing there's only 2 links, he's actually been able to get the Nexus after 1 cannon, so that's pretty good for him. No gas as of yet, so playing relatively standard. We will see the gateway going up sometime soon, and this probe is just going to be able to move around and do what it needs to do. Now, one thing that could come into this game is, as you would note, this main is actually, it's big. It's very big. Like, you can see here, there's a lot of empty space. But it's going to be a little bit harder for Mulists. There is going to be a nice, easily defendable area with cannons here to defend against the Mulists from doing too much damage. And, of course, the natural is going to be a different story. There is the ridge here that is going to allow him to shoot down if he does, in fact, go to Mutalisks. He will have a few problems defending this. Dewalt doing a really good job keeping his probe alive with his multitask. The third hatchery is being added to this mineral-only base, which will give him a very forward position on the map. Now, as I mentioned earlier, just to zoom fully out, this is a very interesting map, which is why I want to bring it back next week as well. you actually have this choke here, and by holding this choke you defend your main and your natural. Now of course shuttles are going to be able to go around, but it also gives you a forward position. Now look at how small the distance is to the wall for the Protoss player. Protoss player of course can get the mineral only as well, but less likely to see that super quickly. Yeah, you basically you can get your mineral only super quickly, but of course that is actually quite vulnerable to Mutalisk. So depending on what Quantel actually chooses to do here, we could see a very, very interesting game. We see some Lings actually coming out. I'm not sure if he plans to be overly aggressive or maybe just use those to defend against any Zealots. So Probe is actually going to go out and scout around the map just to make sure there's nothing crazy going on, and just to check there's no sort of hidden Lings that will be going onto his wall. This wall isn't quite Ling tight yet. Hopefully for Dewalt he doesn't make the mistake Noni made in the Italian Esports Open, where he did move his Zealots out a little bit too quickly and then actually lost the game because of it. That was incredibly sad. But you know, that happens sometimes, it happens to everybody. Noni of course is just now coming back to the game. I'm not sure if he plans on continuing on playing, but he did go out in some very actually close games. 0-2, he went 0-2 in both games, but he did do really well. Sale actually did a cast of all those extra games yesterday, so if you do want to watch that, please do tune into Sale's VOD. He will put them up on YouTube. He'll post them in the thread when it's done as well, I guess. He didn't cast them fully, he was still doing a chill cast, but it was a lot of fun. Of course, Sale would normally join me today for this, but he's spending some time with his girlfriend just because he was in Italy for a few days, so he's not seen her for a little bit. And we do see 3 cannons now being added for the Protoss player, actually adding a second pylon just to be safe. This is a very exposed pylon. There are a lot of Lings heading over. Now it looks like the wall is going for his Stargate, is going for his Citadel, and we do see the Templar Archives as well. Now is Dewalt going to try and take this third base quickly? I mean, you can tell here very easily. It's a very easily defendable base. It is quite open, so it's harder to use Storm. And we see that first Corsair moving in, trying to get some scouting done. Not doing all too much, but we do see the Probe actually going up here to the high ground. You can actually add cannons up on the high ground as well, making it very hard for a Zerg player to actually push in. It looks like Dewalt may have just spotted this drone that is going to try and go and take a 4th base, likely in this other natural. A very early 4th in comparison to the previous game, so it looks like Quantel is opting to build a lot more drones this time as well, going up to his 5th hatchery at his 3rd base. He's going to be in a lot better position economically. He's not thrown away a load of units this time. And yeah, we go into a somewhat normal situation again. It looks like the Corsair does get one Overlord. Is it going to get another one? Hydras are, of course, on their way back. But the one thing to note is Dewalt going to see this 4th base? If he doesn't see it, he's certainly going to see this drone moving over. I'm not sure I agree with this decision to send that drone. Actually opting to juke the drone away, hoping that Dewalt wouldn't see it. I don't actually think he saw the hatchery though. That's a bit of an unfortunate miss-scout by Dewalt. As he does pull away, he's going to try and take out this Overlord. Should be easy pickings. 1 DT is actually going to take out all of these units. And there's a Lurker here. He was trying to stop a Lurker contain, but he's got no units there to actually do it with. So these DTs are actually going to run straight past the meager army. And is there actually any units under here? There's only 1 Hydralisk. Could he actually just die to 2 DTs? There's not any defense anywhere. Where are Quantel's units? Is he being too greedy going for this 5th base already? I think he is. There's just no units. There's nothing to defend against the DTs. These are going to do so much damage. And that is very unfortunate. For our Zerg player in the series, sorry I did miss this DT. This DT actually on 5 kills already. I just had to mute my microphone for a second while I coughed. Looks like I'm getting Sales Italy flu even though I've not been anywhere near him. Another DT on 13 kills, 14 kills, 15 drone kills with just these DTs. This DT actually on 6, gets a 7th as well. Quantel being picked apart entirely by DTs does have so few drones now. for all of his bases. Looks like we do see the Gateway Flood will be starting up soon for... Well, it looks like this poor DT, 15 kills, is going to be spotted and killed. But he did his job, he did his work for Ire, and this one lurker is going to take down this gateway and there's nothing he can do about it. He doesn't have vision of this, I don't think. Yeah, he has no vision, he can't get vision there. Oh my god, is this actually going to kill the Forge as well before he can get the upgrade? I'm not too sure. We actually see another DT going up to this top right base. A creep colony has been started, but there is no detection. Once again, Quantel forced to send all of his army back to defend. It looks like +1 does actually finish. We see no upgrades at the moment for the Zerg army. I'm not sure if he is going for melee upgrades. We do of course see the evolution chambers, so I can only imagine 1-1 is starting now. But look at this, he's pulled all of his Hydralisks back, and there's just no detection. Speed for the Overlords is done, but this DT is just going to run away and make it incredibly taxing on Quantel's APM to actually try and find it. I guess one thing he could be doing is following the Shimmer, but no, he's completely missed it. Look at how annoying this is. You have to tax yourself so much to try and figure out what's going on, and in the meantime he knows all of the Hydralisks are away from home, and he's actually just going to go in with 5 Zealots. How much damage are these going to do? They're going to take down the Spore. Of course there is a lot of Overlords, so DTs aren't going to be able to move in here alone. But once again, Dewalt is absolutely picking Quantel apart in this game, showing his experience and his skill in this matchup. Killing even more drones. Another 2 drones go down. The army is only just now coming back. These Zealots have actually done so much. If this was StarCraft 2, there would be like there'd be a counter to see how many workers have died, and I think there must have been about 30 drones have died in this game. And every drone that dies, of course, is one less army unit that can be made. So all the meanwhile, it looks like Dewalt is perfectly safe. He's got his 3rd base up now. It is mining. The 4th base is mining, of course, for Quantel now, so that's pretty good for him. But realistically, given the worker count, they're actually pretty much on even bases, and we see a shuttle has actually made its way through the Zerg defenses along the right side or the left side wall. A nice storm goes down. How many kills did he get? I think he only got about 4, but he is going to be able to evacuate and just fly out. It looks like he's going to fly over to the island. So that will be safe for the time being. There is no Spire, I do believe. The Spire has actually finished. So he needs to be careful. He could actually trap these two High Templar over here, but it looks like Quantel can't quite find that shuttle. He is going to be incredibly disappointed by this, and Dewalt can actually just drop on the high ground and kill all of the. He needs to be careful though. Oh, is he going to lose the shuttle? He's going to lose the shuttle. Is he going to try to save it? No, he doesn't. But there is 2 storms on this high ground. Is there a reaction from Quantel? It looks like he didn't quite scout it. Drone actually trying to go up. Oh no. Oh no. Actually killing his own High Templar. Unfortunate for him. Not really any kills. Does get 2 drones, but not too much. And Dewalt now feeling like he's in a good position. He's up 50 supply. He's going to move out into the map, but he needs to be careful. Even though Quantel is only on 88 supply, he barely has any workers. So most of this is actually going to be in army units, but with storms like that, Quantel is going to have so much trouble. It looks like actually sacrificing his High Templar to try and get a really nice storm. Some really good engagements here by Dewalt is actually going to push him further in the lead. He's now up 70 supply. There's barely any Zerg units left. It looks like he's been trying to re-drone, but it's not been quick enough. And there we go, the Zealots, Dragoons are moving in. A 4th base is going up for Dewalt in the bottom right corner. And a 5th base looks like it was trying to go up for Quantel, but I don't think it's going to matter. Dewalt's army is just so big, the Scourge are going to be able to take out the Observers, but there's no Lurkers and he has no time to morph them either. The meager reinforcements are coming in from the 5 hatcheries of the main, but GG! And Dewalt comes back from behind, 1-0 down to win the series, the semi-final, and will force himself through into the finals, where he will be facing our other semi-finalist. That was an insane series, possibly one of the